You're listening to Court Reserve Unscripted with me, Ashley Owens.
Hello.
Good day. How are you, David?
Hey, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you in New York today in the nice cold snow?
I am. Tons of snow outside.
Well, thanks for coming on Unscripted. I want to hear what's going on with you guys at Save My Place. Sounds like there's a lot of moving parts these days.
Yeah. A lot going, and thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. Um,
Absolutely. Well, I see every conference I go to, I see your team. So tell me, you guys are like the ultimate salespeople on the road all the time.
they'll love hearing that because they love the travel aspect, but it works out well because they're it's a pretty young team. The people you see in particular, not me as much, but they love getting to go to all the different conferences, meet your team, all the different facilities partners. They have this whole list of partners now that they become friends with, so it's pretty cool.
It's great because when they go to a town or a city that a conference is in, they have a plan. They visit customers, they go and visit potential customers. I mean, they really make the most use of their time in a location. Is there a story that like comes to mind that you can tell me about that maybe they've had some pretty good success on one of these town road trips?
Yeah, there's been some cool ones. I know that when they were in Monaco for the tennis Europe juniors or whatever, they ended up taking a trip like I forgot. I mean, a few different trips, just branching off of that to some nice, kind of a padel facility, one tennis facility. I don't remember in particular which they were, but I'm glad you're noticing that because definitely it's about balancing. Obviously for we're a small startup, the cost of travel with seeing the results there. But I think it's been very important to our success. So we're happy to do it.
Yeah. So tell me what makes you different than the other recording camera. I feel like every time we turn around, there's a new one like hitting the road. So tell me what's different about Save My Play and how you guys work versus the other folks in this industry.
Yeah, I think we developed the product with a few kind of product and company with a few visions in mind. First of all, being really easy from the facility perspective to use and install. I think at Old Coast where you use it, it's pretty much our bread and butter use case where you're retrofitting a facility that was already built, not necessarily with cameras in mind, and you had them installed in a few minutes. You didn't have to bring in a contractor to do wiring, do work, and everything. So we think we have, the easiest install on the market, and we're always, trying to make it easier. And then from the usage perspective, just really thinking about how to let people record video, get these great AI features really seamlessly, and not having, to have them do a lot of work, like download third-party apps and things like, which is why we love, integrating with CourtReserve because it's built in. We want to make that experience ideal versus kind of I've seen some recording things that have like six steps to them. And my philosophy has always been when a player comes into a facility, they're not looking to like download a new app and like use an app and sign up for things.
Yeah, I would agree. We want to make it as easy as possible. And I know at Old Coast, before they even get there, they can go ahead and tell the system that they want their time recorded. And I know Michelle, our marketing director at Old Coast, she takes a lot of those videos and she is constantly putting them on Instagram and Facebook. And even, when we live stream through the YouTube channel, we have folks locally, especially our own sponsors, who really get a lot out of seeing the sponsor location on the YouTube channel, the logo on the court, and the camera and the recording just makes all of that part of that sweet spot for us as a small club.
Yeah, that's great. First of all, Michelle's awesome. She does really great content. She also loves our gesture feature, which I'll mention. So like during your recording, if you have a great play, you can just raise your arms and you'll get a nice edited clip of the last play. So I think that's also a big differentiator. We let you do that. It's included in our package. Like you're not like paying extra for the recording or whatever. It's whatever the facility is charging or value add to that. And we love seeing. I know you have multi-angle setup now. I think we offer also you asked like differentiators, the most effective and easy to use multi-angle now than any of the other solutions. Yeah, but we love to see the content. We have some content creators. We've seen 5 million view clips recently. And they're always kind of racking up some pretty cool ones.
That's amazing. I love too that like the new kitchen camera again was so easy to install. Now we have different views for the players to be able to do. What are you seeing in the marketplace right now? I know a lot of facilities want to monetize this. It's a great way to add some additional revenue to the club. What are you seeing people are charging for this right now?
Yeah, so definitely we're seeing it as a great source of revenue, and I could mention I'll talk about a few of the opportunities there. But and just charging for footage, I think for pickleball, it varies by sport, by the way. We see a lot, but pickleball, $5 to $10 an hour, I think is an effective price, depending on the market and the price of the reservation. But like you mentioned, I think a lot of the value is also in what you're offering to sponsors. So you're offering them that live stream placement. But then we also have, and this is another differentiator, we let people design like overlays for the courts for the facility in our admin system, all on their own. So they don't have to like email us logos if they want or not, or they could just change it on demand. So we have a lot of tools, with that in mind. We've been working on kind of optimizing that, and I think allowing them to be able to buy through CourtReserve is a big advantage there to monetizing footage.
Yeah. So what's next? What are you guys working on currently? I know AI is a buzzword now, so there's probably a lot of analytics coming. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think analytics wise, we have a really good integration with PB Vision that just they're the best pickleball analytics on the market, which is why we partnered with them. And we're their in facility camera solution usually, and I think we're going to see. I won't mention anything specific, but I think we'll see some other stuff there. And then just kind of working on building out like uh, more of those value adds for facilities. So we're doing some stuff around like security monitoring for facilities, even some metric stuff based on computer vision and being able to uh, see that. Another thing that we're launching very soon, it's more of a small thing, but like if a camera gets out of place, we're going to auto alert that the angle is not ideal. Since
That's
that,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, pickleball's flying, they tend to hit, cameras sometimes, so we'll be able to
sure.
alert the owner.
Well, I would imagine like I know the USTA National Campus. I think Billie Jean King is using you guys. So I mean, you really hit the nail on the head. Outdoor cameras, indoor cameras. Now you're going to alert if the tennis ball flies up and knocks it out of place. What do you think's next in this world of recording AI for you guys specifically?
Yeah, it's a great question. Definitely, we're definitely seeing the space as a whole become more of a expected kind of thing in facilities. Like, they're walking in and most players, are expecting some kind of technology now in facilities, which is great. We love to see that. So we're, trying to develop as many experiences as we can to kind of go with that desire. One of them that we're seeing become more popular is we have instant replay, capability courtside. So we're seeing more of those rolled out. We even do multi-angle instant replay, which is pretty unique, and it's super fast. You get multiple angles, so that's been getting really popular. And I think we're also rolling out some more like real-time AI stuff on the cameras that'll be pretty fun. That we'll be announcing soon. So
Yeah.
some stuff there.
I did have a question. I was doing a webinar the other day and somebody asked like the legality around filming people, when they come into a facility. And I mean, when people come play at Old Coast, you sign two different waivers, general liability, and you sign away the right, we're going to film you, we're going to take your picture. And if you don't want to be on camera or to have your picture taken, you should probably go home.
Yeah.
What do you tell your clubs when they ask about that?
Yeah, it's basically exactly what you said. That's the recommended approach. And again, I always say, look, the reality is like the industry and society has shifted, that direction, and we hear very little to no pushback, to be totally honest. So, I'm not gonna argue with it. That's just the way it is. So it works out well.
I mean, if you walk down the street, you're getting filmed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think, I think just most people they value it. So it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, for sure. What are you looking forward to in the next couple of months? I know we're going to see each other in a couple weeks at Racquet X. What else are you guys up to? Where are you going? Anywhere fun?
Yeah, definitely, Racquet X. I think also Directors Club
Yes.
is a few weeks later. But yeah, I know you have a lot of conferences coming off, right?
Yes, and I've heard that your crew wants to come, so we'll talk about that.
Oh, they'll go to everyone if they could. I don't know if that's feasible, but
No, for sure. I think it's great though. I think it's a great time to be in our industry because every time I turn around, and maybe you see this, there's a new racket conference, there's a new tennis conference. We're going to one in England. That's the first
oh
time.
wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it after this. But I
Oh my
mean, every
God.
time I turn around, this industry is so hot right now. And I love the best practice sessions. I get to lead a panel at the Racket X conference, and we're going to seriously sit in a room for an hour and talk about best practices. So, I mean, I think that people genuinely like care about each other and we want to do the best. There's plenty of business for everybody. And I think it's such a fun time to be in our world.
That's super well said. And I was thinking about that before, like when we were talking about the conferences, when we started out, even like 2.5 years ago, we searched for like racket sports conference because we wanted to do one, and there was like one. Like it was like, Racket X pretty much. And now there's like more than obviously we can handle. So it's been great to see the demand and growth.
Yeah, it has. All right, my friend. Well, thanks for coming by on Unscripted. I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more about how CourtReserve became the go-to club management software for racket and paddle sport clubs, come say hello over on our website. There's a link in the show notes.